Real gangster now fall like the Bulgravana. In a leather trench coat, me down in a Milano. Black leather felt disguise, me maskina. Shade dark like night, me a tricky and keener. Decide for all I drink, so we go hit the casino.
Most of the interviews that I do, for some reason, are female artists, and I usually do like to set it up with a little bit of a marriage proposal. Can't really do that with you, but I'm pretty gay for you. I don't know how that makes you feel. Pretty gay for. There's about 4 people on the list that I'm pretty gay for, and I thought maybe it would sit with you better because you used to wear dresses.
Yeah. I love clothes, female, male. You know, if I like something, it don't put me off. You know.
There's no exit, I can stand still, keep it on. There's no exit, I can stand still, keep on running. Speed out.
Knowle West Boy, obviously the first album since 2003, and I know you've been pressed on it 100 times, but I'm just hoping that you can maybe sort of tell us a little bit about the gap. Why was it a 2003 to 2008 hold up?
To be honest, it was 9/11 kind of took me out of my stride. It's like I was doing some work in LA, and I was living in New York, and I'd been in LA for about 2 months working, and then I was supposed to go on a European tour. On the 11th of September, I was supposed to fly out of LA to London, stay there for 2 days, and then do Europe. And then I had to cancel the whole tour because of that. And I was in a hotel for 6 months, and people in New York telling me don't come back yet, it's still depressing and stuff. So it was too expensive to stay in a hotel, so I had to get an apartment. So I ended up putting all my stuff in storage in New York. So it kind of 9/11 changed my life. And usually my routine was tour, do an album, tour, do an album, and it just took me out of my routine. And a year turned into 2 years, to 3 years, 4 years, and then I changed record labels. So really it was 9/11. I didn't know anybody in the buildings, or it didn't affect me like that, but it was just the knock-on effect. I think it affected the whole industry. You know, touring kind of probably went down from there. So it affected me where I just didn't. After being stuck in LA, it was a great place to be numb, LA. It's like being on holiday. So with all that stuff, you know, and then you got on the news about terror attacks and red zone, and it's so depressing that I stayed in LA and just kind of pretend it wasn't happening, you know. And, you know, the news all the time was about, you know, terrorists and all this stuff just going on. And so I just stayed numb in LA.
1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. That one front. Bragging on the stunts. Coke in your nose.
Well, what was the catalyst for you starting again then, after all that time?
Like the support I've had as an artist is kind of unbelievable. The love I've got from, I don't even like to say fans. It's like like-minded people. I think fans is a bit derogatory, you know what I mean?
How so?
I think if someone's into my music, we must have something in common. For you to like my music, so I'd say we're like-minded people rather than a fan. A fan suggests, you know, like screaming girls at Elvis and stuff, you know. So,
What interview was being gay for you?
So I kind of like the people listen to my music. I see them as we have similar thoughts and similar feelings. So I say like-minded people rather than fans.
Sure.
And the messages I've been getting and the love I've been getting, it's just incredible. And it's like, it made me really want to go and do an album. And it's the first time I wanted to do an album for the listeners, you know. My favorite album is either Vulnerable or Blowback, to be honest with you. But no, it's only because of one track. Car Crash on Vulnerable is my favorite track, and Song for You, Kiko on Blowback. I think it's new music, and but you don't, as an artist, I don't think you look back. I'm already thinking about my next album. So this is done. I'm ready to do another album now. So you kind of tend to not look back, and it's not yours. Once you've done it, and you've mastered, and it's out, it belongs to the listeners.
Was it a conscious decision to look back on your roots with Knowle West Boy, or just something that sort of came out and flowed out like an exorcism?
Yeah, it kind of flowed out like songs like School Gates was a true story.
Yeah, can you tell me about that?
Yeah, when I was like 15, there was a girl in my neighborhood, and my friend liked her friend, and she liked me, and he said, look, will you get off with her just for me? Like, so I said, all right, I'll support you. And I can remember kissing her for the first time, and I'm like, her breath smells, I don't like her, I'm never doing that again for you. Then I ended up going out with this girl for like 3 years. And she got pregnant, but then said the kid wasn't mine. So it was kind of, we're left. She told me it was mine, but she was telling her family that it wasn't mine, and telling my family. So we were kind of left I was left where I couldn't really do anything. And she had such a hold on me. She said basically, if you tell anybody, I'll never talk to you again. And I always thought maybe I'll get her back. So, and this girl is about 22, 23 years of age now. And people are still saying it's my kid. And I went back to Bristol a few times and waited outside the house to see if I could see her. Because I can't really just walk into her life, but I know if I see her, I know if that's my kid.
Sure.
So that kind of, that was just growing up, kids having kids, in my neighborhood. It was kind of that thing, kids bringing up kids.
And so do you know yet whether or not?
No, I've waited for her a few times and gone to areas where she lives and or she hangs out, but I've never spotted her yet. I've never spotted her.
I just wonder a lot with artists who are creative, whether or not you might see the creative side and the art in music business rather than it just being business. Do you have an art side of it?
There's definitely. It's like with council estates, for instance, that's a single. Like, you think business wise, it's like, for me, if after 5 years I want to come back with something hard. So it's a business decision to bring council estates out. There's definitely a art in the way you, like, from when I first started, it's like, don't be seen too much. You know what I mean? It's like, if I haven't got an album out, don't be doing press and doing interviews, because if you've got nothing to say. So there's definitely art to the business, and like, you could get too much visual, being seen everywhere in Hello magazine, where people get sick of you. It's like Eminem totally killed his career into a certain extent where people were sick of him. You couldn't switch on the TV without seeing him. So there's definitely a business way. You have a business mind, which is part of the artistic mind. And certain things you like. With Maxi Quay was too much success too quick. So I did Nearly God, which is a lot harder for radio to play. So there's definitely an art in the business, definitely.
I can tell you.
Good question. That's a very good question.
Well, that's something that I enjoy. I enjoy the art of the business, just because it can be a creative sense.
Yeah,
and I don't think just because something isn't made on a synthesizer or something isn't made with a paintbrush that it can't be a creative.
Yeah, totally. That's a great question.
I think a lot of people miss it.
Very true.
You can keep saying it's a great question, because I'm just going to cut that in.
Well, I've never been asked that before, and it's kind of that's a great question.
The video side of things looked like you had a lot of fun with Council Estate.
Yeah.
Is that a process you enjoy also?
Yeah, and I stopped listening to hip hop for a while now. It's become R&B and pop. But there's a band in France called Safe You, and he's incredible. And I wanted him in the video, and that was done in his area. So I got him and his brothers and his extended family and people off the street into the video, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of kids there from council flats, so it was real fun. I enjoy doing videos as well. It's like doing photos, that's art in itself. You can be whoever you want to be, you visually, and you it's kind of fun. It's internal but external at the same time. So it's kind of fun.
Do you find you're a bit of an actor?
Only when if I could be myself. I couldn't go out and play something what isn't me. I'm not good enough. Like like a total character role. But if something close to me, similar, Like, you know, I could play a street guy, you know? Like, my uncle's always telling me I should do gangster movies. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so I could do a Lock, Stock and Two Barrels quite easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But, you know, a period role or something like that, I don't think I could manage it.